Hey, how you doing, Mr. Dyson?
I'm wonderful. I'm excited, ready
I
to get this
am
thing
too.
kicked
My
off.
God. Yes, yes, yes. Hopefully, we waiting for some people to join us and let's get started. I am so excited about the gems that are gonna be dropped tonight. Like, I cannot wait. Um, so I want to start off by introducing you and just letting people know that they need to know a Mr. Charles Dyson. They need to know Mr. Kingdom Cash and his queen, Christina Dyson. It's crazy. I met you through Annette, and
Hmm.
I met Annette because she interviewed me on her radio show. And
Right.
then she came to my colorism event last year. And
Okay.
so when she did her 10-year anniversary party via Zoom virtual, I attended, and everybody on there was talking about Mr. Kingdom Cash. And I was like, well, who is Mr. Kingdom Cash? So I was like, okay. And then the next person would come on and say something else. And I was like, okay, well, I need to know Mr. Kingdom Cash. So,
Mhm.
and what I also love is that before you even responded to me, you verified who is that? What's she about? Like you ain't playing no
That's
games.
it. That's
You
it.
ain't playing no games. But since then, we have been connected. You and your wife are beautiful people, have helped me tremendously. I mean, I am just so honored to be a part of the team. Like, it's just the mentality, the mental, the teachings, the motivation, the inspiration, the support is unmatched. And sometimes I'm a little protective of my mentors and stuff, like, because I have my other mentor, Latia Vaughn, and I'll be wanting to share them, but I'm like, I gotta share. I gotta share, okay? Because I know a lot of people who could use that because it
Mhm.
has definitely changed my life. And yeah, I told you, you and Christina, y'all stuck with me, so I hope you
Yeah.
know that, okay?
Yeah. I love it.
So
And
yes, Mr. Kingdom Cash is somebody you want to know. Him and his wife are out here changing lives, transforming lives. And it's not by happenstance that it is financial literacy month, because this is about credit, crypto, and just financial freedom. And how we have to change our mindsets and walk into it and be open to learning new things and not, oh, I've heard about that. Yeah, you got to be careful who you link up with. But I'm telling you
absolutely.
right now, you want to know Mr. Kingdom Cash. Okay.
Absolutely.
So,
And
yeah, so I
listen,
just honor you and your wife, and I thank God for you guys.
and listen, I am so appreciative of all the kind words you just said. And I got to give it right back to you. Miss Tracy,
Oh,
you've been absolutely wonderful since you came into me and my wife's life. I love
thank you.
connecting myself to high quality, high caliber individuals.
Oh,
You
thank
definitely have a mantle on your life. People should want to be connected to you, want to have you in their life. You're a natural born
thank you.
leader. You're
Thank
a
you.
walking inspiration. Your
My
story
God.
is absolutely remarkable.
Wow.
You're an overcomer, and I'm just blessed to have you in our life, and to be walking this path to elevated places with you. And so you say all these positive things about me. I could give it right back to you. You're
Oh,
amazing. You're absolutely phenomenal.
thank
And
you.
I'm blessed to actually be sharing this platform with you today.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate that. So
You're
I want to dive right in and
Mhm.
talk about credit, because I know you and your wife also owned a credit business. And after having some situations of my own, because I wasn't taught about credit growing up, which I'm sure many of us, credit was not mentioned in our households.
Right.
So I learned a lot through trial and error. Then I just got fed up and I was like, I just have to educate myself on it. And then I, became passionate about it when it got board certified and wanted to help others. And I, love it when I hear a client say their lives have been changed because of that. But it's like, okay, so we can teach people how to get good credit, right?
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
the key is keeping it. We can teach people financial freedom, but the
Hmm.
key is keeping it and
Absolutely.
growing it for generations to come. And that's where you come in, that because I know you have a powerful testimony. So I want to, like I said, I'm going to share. I'm going to share with the people.
Absolutely.
You have
You
a
know what?
powerful testimony.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You are absolutely right. My wife and first of all, I got to give it to my beautiful,
Come
wonderful,
on. Come
my
on.
love. Miss Lady Kingdom Cash, Christina Dyson, and she is
Hello.
absolutely phenomenal.
Yes.
And she's the real credit expert. I want to let y'all know.
Okay.
I know what I know because of her.
Mm.
And she is absolutely phenomenal. Everything we do, we're partnered together. And years ago, we just made the decision that financial literacy is something that we're going to be focused on. That's the direction we want to take our life in. We want to get to elevated places, and we just understood that credit is going to be a major part of that elevation.
Yeah.
Now, like you just said, credit was not a conversation at the dinner table. It's not something you learn in high school. It's not something you learn in college.
Mm-hmm.
And from getting in the industry, what we learned, this is the crazy part.
Mm-hmm.
Credit is a filtering system. We live in a capitalist country.
Yes.
And they designed this system in such a way where everybody cannot be rich.
Come on.
Like, credit is literally the filtering system. You ever wonder why rich people pay less and people who are lower middle class or poor pay more for everything?
Mm-hmm.
It's a filtering system. It's
Yes.
designed that way, right?
Yes.
And then another reason why this part of financial literacy is not taught
Mm-hmm.
is because once you get bad credit, there is no foundational resource that you can find to get educated about
Yeah.
how to fix it and then
Mm-hmm.
increase it. And with the limited information that we had,
Mm-hmm.
what did we do with our credit? What did we use it
Right.
for? Material things.
Yep.
You need a car, you use your credit. You
Yep.
need some furniture, you use your credit. You
Mhm.
need material things, you use your credit.
Yes.
But not understanding that, if you are not in a position where financial literacy is something you understand, it
Mhm.
ends up hurting you in the long run, especially if you're not in an elevated place financially.
Yeah.
Eventually, the system is designed for those things to hurt people who are not financially literate,
Yes.
to no fault of your own. And that's why I always tell people your bad credit score is not really your fault.
Right.
Because you weren't educated on purpose on how it works.
Yes.
Right. But here's the analogy that I always give people.
Mm-hmm.
Credit is kind of like Monopoly. If you're 12 years old
Mm-hmm.
and you're playing Monopoly with your little cousins and they're 7, 8 years old,
Right.
there's no way that your 7 or 8-year-old cousin can win the game if they don't know the rules.
Exactly.
You're going to dominate that Monopoly game because you understand how it's played.
That's
You
it.
know the rules to the game.
Mhm.
Well, that's how it is with finances. That's how credit works.
Yeah.
If you don't know the rules to the game, you can't even win the game.
My God.
How are you supposed to elevate yourself financially if the main financial piece that you need, you don't know the rules and how to operate it?
Ooh.
So we used our credit for material things.
Mm-hmm.
But what is credit really supposed to be used for?
Right.
Financial elevation. Wealthy people use their credit to create streams of income.
Yes.
When you understand the rules to the game, you can win.
Yes.
You can win. So credit is going to be a major driving force in elevating yourself financially. Now, here's the myth. People think they need some sophisticated information about how credit works.
Right.
And that's not true.
No.
Basic information about how credit works can actually help you begin to increase your credit score.
Yes.
Something as simple as one late payment can lower your score 100 points or more.
Yes.
One late payment.
One. Yep.
And again, that's the game. That's the system. People don't know that. They don't know that one late payment can drastically affect their credit worthiness.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of people don't know that TransUnion, Equifax, and Experience are billion-dollar companies.
Billions.
To sell your credit report.
Right. And then watch, and you just said it, they sell your information.
Yes.
Over and over again. But
over and over.
You thinking that the collection agency is selling your stuff. The credit people themselves are selling your stuff.
Yes.
And here's another critical piece of information. People think there's only 3 credit bureaus. There's actually 7.
Oh, wait, look, now you just taught me something. Wait,
There's
I knew
7
it was
credit bureaus.
a couple more.
Right.
Okay, okay.
So when people talk about cleaning credit,
Mhm.
they're focused on, like you said,
Yeah,
Equifax, TransUnion,
yeah.
and Experian.
Mhm.
But there's other credit bureaus that are responsible for different things.
Yeah. Oh,
Like the
like
reason,
for automotive.
right?
Okay.
And so when for example, one thing that can help felons, if somebody's a felon and
Mhm.
they get out of jail, one of the reasons why it's difficult for them to get a job is because that felony is following them around.
Yeah. Yes.
How is it following them around?
Right.
Well, those shadow credit
Oh, yeah.
bureaus,
Yes.
if you get it removed from those shadow credit bureaus,
Mhm.
those are the ones that are responsible for reporting felonies.
Right. My
So if
God.
you remove it there, then when you go look for a job, they can't find the felony. Something so simple.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the basic stuff. That's a little bit more sophisticated. But the basic stuff.
Yeah.
Um, one very simple thing that somebody can do is walk right into your bank.
Mhm.
Start building a relationship with your financial institutions. They have
That
a lot of information to
yeah.
help somebody increase their credit score.
Yes, they do.
Free information,
Mhm.
right? That they can actually put you in position to get a secured credit card
Yeah.
and start building positive history. And then you can then start, diversifying your credit profile because it's not just about credit cards.
Right.
You need a credit, what is called a credit mix,
Yes.
right? So, but none of that works
Mhm.
if you don't have the finances to actually hold your credit score where it needs to be,
Yes.
which is why the single most important thing that you can do for your life is increase your finances.
Mhm.
That is way more important than the credit score itself because
Yeah.
if you can increase your finances,
Mhm.
you go from making $2,000-3,000 a month to making $7,000-8,000-9,000-10,000 a month. Then
Yes.
when you get this credit profile and you start building your credit mix
Mhm.
with different things, right? When they see that you're credit worthy, whether it be multiple credit cards, a car,
Mhm.
um, furniture, or whatever it is, when you start building that credit profile and showing them nothing but on-time payments,
Yes.
right? That's what's going to start increasing your credit score.
Yeah.
It's twofold. It's kind of like building a house on land that
Mhm.
has a condemned building on it. First, you got to tear the condemned building down,
That part.
set the foundation, and then build from there.
Yes.
So it's twofold. You got to get rid of negative items, but you also
Mhm.
have to build positive history.
Right.
But
Yeah.
not every negative credit item should be removed from your credit profile.
Yeah,
And
that
a lot
part.
of people don't know that
That's
because
true.
credit
It's
age
yes.
is critical.
Yes,
So
it is.
even if you have a negative
Mhm.
trade line that's been on your credit profile for over 10, 15 years,
That's history.
you should not always remove a
Right.
negative trade line because the age is important too.
Yes. Yes.
Because people think that cleaning credit is all about removing every negative item,
Everything.
and it's
Right.
not necessarily the case,
Very
right? But like I said, just the basic things,
yeah.
right? Starting to build a credit mix, starting
Mhm.
to have relationships with companies that report to credit profiles. There's ways where you can actually have your rent be
Yeah.
recorded to your credit score,
Yes.
right? So all these things, like I said, this stuff is actually secondary.
Mhm.
The primary thing that people need to focus on is building streams of income,
That part.
increasing your income. You
Yes.
do that first, the actual credit side is simple
Exactly.
because like I said, one late payment can drop your credit score 100 points. So what's the point in starting to, get positive,
Mhm.
trade lines on your credit if you can't even keep up with the monthly payment for those trade lines? Because if
Yes.
you fall behind, one late payment can
Mhm.
erase all the work that you're doing.
Yeah. And people
So
overextend themselves a lot and end up
exactly,
right back in the same situation. I've done it. So
exactly. And is That's why the financial piece is more important
Critical.
than the credit
Yes.
itself, because
Yeah.
you have to be in an elevated position financially in order to be able to take care of the credit.
Mhm.
Now, there's another thing that I want to talk about before we move on.
Okay.
And it just left my mind. I can't stand when that happens. But it's um I can't remember what it was, but it was really important.
Okay.
Um, the It'll come back to me. But
Okay.
anyway, let's move on. All right,
Okay.
so financial literacy. Um, I wish people really understood how simple it was to start building streams of income. And when
Yeah.
we start talking about things like cryptocurrency,
Mhm.
anybody listening to this right now, please don't let this next part go over your head.
Yes.
Cryptocurrency is the single biggest financial opportunity in human history. That is no exaggeration.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
I'm for real, for real.
Yes.
Cryptocurrency is the single biggest financial opportunity in human history,
Yes.
right?
Yes, it is.
I want to just help y'all understand what crypto can do. There's what I'm about to say. There's not a financial instrument on planet Earth that can give you these type of results. A student of mine that I taught a skill in how to grow money, 19 years old, took an $82 account. $82. Now, everybody listening to this right now has $82. And I want you to understand, this is not luck. This is a skill. What I teach is a skill.
Yes.
He took $82 and grew it to $6,000 in 12 hours.
Yep. Sure did.
$82 to $6,000 in 12 hours. Like I said, that wasn't luck, that was skill.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not a financial instrument on planet Earth that can give you those type of returns.
Yeah.
Now, before I get into how he was able to do that, what I try to get people to do is open their mind, because your mind is like a t-shirt. Once it's stretched, it never returns back to its original form.
Come on, come on.
It never returns back to its original form. And what you got to do is ask yourself a critical question. What information do you have right now that can produce $1,000 within a few hours?
My God.
Do you have any type of information, anything that can give you those type of results? See, what I realized years ago, my wife and I, Christina and I, what we realized years ago was when we say, I wish I had more money,
Mm-hmm.
first you got to understand where money comes from. Where does money come from? Money comes from other people. We live in a transactional society.
Yeah.
And when you go out and shop, what you're thinking is, oh, I'm just going to Walmart to buy some items. You walked into a financial system. It's called a store. People call it a store, but it's really a financial system.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other side of that transaction, somebody's family is getting wealthy. When you pay your electric bill, that transaction, somebody on the other side of that transaction is getting wealthy. We live in a transactional society. When you walk into a Fridays to go sit down and eat, somebody on the other side of that transaction is getting wealthy.
Yes.
So when you're saying, I wish I had more money, what you're really saying is, I wish I was within a network of people with higher quality information. Money comes through people and information.
Yeah.
People have the information. So if you want to increase your finances, really all you got to do is get within a circle of individuals with higher quality information.
Yes.
That have the heart to share that information with you.
Yes.
Money literally comes through networks of individuals. So if you purposefully build relationships with key people that have right information, you can take that information and start transitioning it into money.
Yeah.
And that's how my wife and I, with 10 children, started positioning ourselves to increase and elevate. That's what you need to do.
Yes.
If you want more money, you're one relationship away from actually making that a reality.
My God.
It's in a relationship.
Yes.
So because we live in a transactional society, all you got to do is figure out, how can I start to build some transactions that benefit my bank account instead of money always leaving my bank account?
Oh, that part. My God.
That's the key.
Yeah.
And watch this. Can I build these transactions in such a way where it's over and above abundantly more than the money leaving my bank account? What type of information can produce you 4 figures in a month? What type of information can produce you 5 figures in a month? What type of information can produce you 6 figures in a month? What type of information can produce you 7 or 8 figures in a month?
My God.
And that's where you have to take your mind. That's what you have to start thinking about, because here's the thing. Everybody isn't struggling for money.
Right. Yes.
There are some people who are winning at a high level, and it's only because of the information they have. And so, taking the conversation back full circle, cryptocurrency is one of these tools that can really begin elevating your life just based on the information that you know. Now watch this. Think about this next part. You don't, in today's world, you don't have to be an expert to make the money. That wasn't true 20, 30 years ago.
Right.
Our parents, our grandparents, if they wanted to increase their income, they had to get some specialized knowledge in order to do it. But in today's world, you don't even have to be the expert.
Yes.
All you have to do is be connected to the expert. If you're connected to the expert and the expert shares the information with you, all you got to do is apply the information, and you can transition that information into money. The very fact that you're on this technology right here is living proof of the world that we live in. We're more interconnected than ever before.
My God.
Now, here's another thing. You have to possess an inquisitive mind.
Yeah.
Because information is traveling quickly and technology is changing quickly.
Very.
So in today's world, an inquisitive mind, the willingness to learn, the willingness to expand, the willingness to grow is going to be completely critical. You can't let yourself get stuck in a paradigm that says, oh, because I'm such and such age, I'm left behind. Or because I learned differently, I'm left behind. Or making whatever excuse. You have to remove those excuses and make a calculated decision to apply yourself to new information. Be willing to learn and willing to grow. And willing to make a mistake. And willing to grow and adjust. Because my wife and I want y'all to understand, with 10 children, we didn't get to where we are by avoiding mistakes. We got to where we are because we were willing to grow, change, and correct.
My God.
Right? So if money comes through people and money comes through information, then I have to possess the mind and the willingness to learn, grow, and expand. Right? So what the real thing, the number one thing that started to elevate us is to begin to seek out mentors that are willing to pour into us. What I find is that wealthy people love sharing information, but what they don't like is their time being wasted.
Exactly, that part.
Wealthy people love sharing information. They love helping people. They love helping the less fortunate. What the television wants you to believe is that wealthy people are snobby, wealthy people are reserved, and wealthy people don't like helping people, which is not the truth. Wealthy people love sharing information.
And we see it. We see it every day.
We see it all the time.
Right?
But what they don't like is when people seek them out, take up their time, and then waste their potential. So the way you get into those circles is just by continuing to grow. Continuing to take the information that they give and apply. Right? But that's what we did. We started seeking out mentors, getting higher quality information. Watch this, being willing to pay for the information.
That part. Come on. And you owned your own businesses, right?
So back to the story. We got mentors. We started businesses from home. And literally, whatever they told us to do, we did it.
Okay.
And we began making money. I used to work 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 hours a week.
Wow.
And I used to work 2 to 3 jobs. I haven't worked a job since April 2013.
My God.
Well, the first thing that my wife and I did was we got a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
We sought somebody out who had results, who was making money. And when they shared the information, we just simply applied it.
Mm.
Right? So that we leveraged myself off of a job April 2013.
Wow.
And from 2013 to 2017, we continued to seek information. We continue to seek mentors. We continue to consume information and apply new information. Let me drop this on y'all. One of the biggest, most valuable resources that we have is YouTube and Google.
That's it.
Y'all,
my favorite.
Let me tell you something. I wanted to build a website a few years back.
Okay.
And I was seeking out resources to build websites, and they were trying to charge me thousands of dollars.
Wow.
And I didn't want to pay thousands of dollars for a website. So you know what I did?
Mm-hmm.
I went to YouTube and typed in how to build a website.
My God.
Watch this. Listen to this story. I found the video, and in 2 weeks taught myself how to build a website.
Wow.
Got an idea. Watch this.
Right.
I got an idea for a website.
Okay.
Build a website with 4 different streams of income.
Wow.
But I was missing a critical piece of information.
Okay.
So what I did was I sought out the information. I found the gentleman on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Junior Serrano. I paid for his training. It was like $325.
Okay.
Inside of his training, I only needed one piece of information.
Wow.
So I paid $325 for one piece of information. I learned what I needed to know.
Okay.
And then I built the website.
Wow.
Now, I took $38, and I ran one Facebook ad for my website.
Wow. That
$38 ad turned into $40,000 in 3 weeks.
My God. My God. Come on.
This is the information age.
Yes.
If you go to YouTube, you go to Google, you can learn anything.
Yeah.
Right?
So
but these are the type of things that we were doing.
Yeah.
We were paying for information. How we started our credit business. What did we do? We started paying for information.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You have to be willing to pay for information.
Yes.
Right? But we started our credit business. My wife and I, we helped a bunch of people increase their credit. Mm-hmm. Right? But in 2017, something critical happened.
Okay.
We got introduced to investing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I always knew that I wanted to be an investor,
right.
But like many people listening to this right now, you don't know where to start.
Right, exactly.
That's the problem.
Right.
It's not that you don't want to learn how to grow money.
Mm-hmm.
It's only that you don't know where to go to learn it.
Yes.
That's the problem we had. But once we found out that it was possible to make money from a phone,
mm-hmm.
that it was possible to grow money from a phone, make money while you sleep from a phone. When we found that out, me and my wife, we looked at each other. We all in on this. Ain't nothing easy.
Okay.
You can't do anything easier to make money from a phone.
Exactly. My God.
And then I started thinking, well, everybody around me has a phone.
Right.
So listen, once that light bulb turned on, and I was like, not only can I make money from my phone, mm-hmm. but I can take this and turn it into a business. Mm-hmm. So I can learn to invest and start a business at the same exact time. Why? Because everybody around me has a phone.
Wow.
And everybody around me would love to learn how to make money in their sleep from their phone. Mm. Who wouldn't want to do that?
Right.
So in 2017, we got so excited about this particular industry mm-hmm. that the 2 businesses that we had at the time that were successful, we phased them out. Wow. We closed our credit business.
My God.
We closed our other business to go all in on learning how to invest.
Wow.
In learning how to grow money. Because here's what I understood. The reason why we made that decision is because what's more important in learning how to make money mm-hmm. is learning how to grow money.
Mm, yeah.
See, what we're taught, this is financial literacy.
Yes.
What we're all taught at a young age is it's important to save,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And you might have heard this term, save for a rainy day.
Yes.
And guess what? The rainy day always comes.
Always.
Always.
Yes.
So essentially, what we were taught was save only for emergencies.
That's it.
And emergencies are always going to happen.
Yes.
So if you're only saving just to save, that's not enough. You have to save to invest.
Yeah.
Because the top 5% income earners in the world have two professions. They invest and they do business.
Exactly.
So the reason why I was working 3 jobs and not elevating, not getting my life to where I wanted to be, not progressing financially is because I was working inside of a system that was not designed to set me free.
Right.
Employment is only designed to sustain you. It's not meant to elevate you.
Ooh, come on.
Employment is not meant to elevate you. It's only meant to sustain you. So if you are an employee, it's not a bad thing. Thank God for the job.
Right.
It's not a bad thing to support yourself and support your family. So I'm not bashing jobs because we need jobs.
Yeah.
Right. But there is something wrong with only having a job, especially if that job is not fulfilling you or elevating you.
Yeah.
But then you can get the idea to go and get some specialized knowledge and become self-employed. But the problem with that is when you're self-employed, now you own your job. And that's real freedom is time freedom and financial freedom.
Yes.
And another paradigm that we're taught at a young age that's not fully correct is hard work pays off. That's a lie.
That's a lie.
Hard work does not always pay off. And any wealthy person that I've ever met, they don't work hard.
Right. They work smart.
They don't work hard at all. They work smart.
My God. Come on.
And they don't work long either.
Wow.
So we have to start, evaluating the information that we've received.
Yeah.
Because the information that we received was given to us with a good heart. Like mom wanted to take care of us, dad wanted to take care of us, grandma, granddad, they only gave us the information that they had, but financial literacy was not taught to them. So how can they teach it to us?
Exactly. That's true. Very true.
Right?
Yeah.
So once I understood that investing in business owners, that is what the money activity that really elevates you. It was a simple decision. All right, so I got to figure out how to go from an employee to an investor and a business owner. And that's how I'm going to elevate my life.
Yes.
And how am I going to do that? I got to get a mentor. I got to get around people who have the information.
Yes. Yes.
So really, like, this is how close you are to really elevating your life. It's just a decision. I need to find somebody who knows what they're doing. I need to listen to them, and I need to be willing to invest. And when I say willing to invest, I'm not talking thousands of dollars.
Right. Exactly.
I'm talking $200, $300.
Yeah.
I'm talking a weekend of fun. We spend that all the time. If you have a job and you're eating out, I guarantee you're spending $200, $300, $400 a month.
Oh, that was my Starbucks bill.
That's what
I broke up with Starbucks. Okay. That relationship is over.
And I'm telling you, that is
investments.
That is the key. That is the key. So here's another financial literacy thing. It's not that we don't have money, it's how we spend the money.
That's it.
Everybody has money. If you have a job, if you have employment, you have money.
Yes. Yes.
But we're taught to go to work, get the paycheck, and take care of our responsibilities. And if we have anything left over, we spend that too.
Yeah.
I deserve the fun. I deserve the reward. I deserve this bag. I deserve these shoes. I deserve to go out because you're trying to decompress.
Yeah. So you get paid on Friday. By Monday, you wishing it was the next payday already.
Exactly. And that's all millions of people know.
Yes.
But here's another financial literacy thing. This is the way you're supposed to operate. It's called cash, asset, cash. Cash, asset, cash. This is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get your paycheck.
Yeah.
Take a portion of that paycheck and put it into an asset, something that can increase in value. and then take the money that you're making from that asset, and then you use that money to do what you need to do. And eventually those assets will actually produce more money than you're making on your job.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
instead of needing the job, now you got choices.
Mm.
You have choices. See, you're not completely dependent on the job anymore.
Right.
Now your assets have built to such a place where you're matching and exceeding your job income.
Yes.
And now you can start your debt snowball.
My God.
You can start getting yourself out of debt. You can start putting yourself in position to clean up your credit, increasing your credit worthiness. And here's another thing. You don't have to be scared of credit cards. Credit cards are actually a great thing. You can build wealth with credit cards.
Yes.
But when you're financially literate, you'll know what to do with a credit card, so you're not fearing the credit card.
Right.
Because the credit card isn't bad. The habits that we have with credit cards are bad.
Oh, come on.
Credit cards can be used to build wealth. And I'll come back to that before we end.
Okay.
I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to give you guys a vision of what you can do, right?
My God.
But here's the thing, cash, asset, cash. Now, when you start building your assets, right, and putting it into things, vehicles that can increase in value, you can get to a place where you have some cushion, right? You can get to a place where you have some financial cushion. But this is the question. Well, Charles, what assets do I put my money in? Where do I do it? Well, here's the thing. Let me ask you a question. Did you learn how to drive a car by yourself?
Nope.
Do you think it would be very unwise to try to learn to drive a car by yourself?
No.
Like, that's not a skill where you just get in the car and just go pushing buttons and trying to figure it out, right? Right. So what did you do? You got somebody who knew what they were doing. They sat you in the passenger side. They're in the driver's side. They teach you how to operate the car.
Right.
They teach you what to do. And watch this. Then they put you in the driver's seat and they sit in the passenger seat. And then they monitor you and get you comfortable with driving the car. Right. And you get so good at it to where you can actually do it by yourself. And then you get so good where you're subconsciously doing it.
Yeah.
Where you can put your makeup on and drive at the same time. You can drive on the phone, be on the phone and drive at the same, because you've gotten good at the skill.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'll give you another analogy. Can you go in a courtroom and defend yourself if you get in trouble?
Ooh.
You can, right?
You can, but not effectively.
But not effectively. Right. Nobody goes to court by themselves. What do? You pay an expert. You get a lawyer. Can you fix your car if it breaks down on your own?
No.
You can. You can open the hood and figure it out. Nobody does that. What do? You go get an expert who knows what they're doing to help you get that car fixed and back on the road. Yes. We operate these principles in other areas of our life, but somehow when it gets to finances, people want to go off and try to figure it out on their own.
My God.
Instead of getting an expert, somebody who can help you, somebody who can walk you through the process and help you avoid the mistakes that they made and put you on a path to increase your income without having to make those mistakes. Yes. That's the value of an expert. So if you want to learn where to put your money, what do you do to grow your money, you need to put yourself in contact with someone who can help you do that. But the problem is people have a consumer mentality, right? Instead of having the mentality of somebody who is operating in the marketplace to where money is coming to them.
Yeah. Yes.
But and we don't want to spend money on information. We want to spend money on cell phones. We want to spend money on bundles. We want to spend money on things that can't produce for us. So when you start valuing opportunity more than you value material things, that's when your life will begin to increase.
Yes.
I will forever spend money to make money. It's a mentality.
Yeah.
I will forever spend $1 to learn how to make $5.
Wow.
Forever. I will forever spend money to put myself in contact with a mentor that has information that can help me avoid mistakes.
Yes. Yes.
So if you want financial literacy, if you want to learn what assets that you need to invest in, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's how I learned about cryptocurrency. That's how I learned about, trading, how I put myself in position to know how to grow money from a phone.
Yes.
And like I said, not thousands, not 5,000, not
Mhm.
10,000, 200, y'all.
Mm,
$300.
right.
Your money is on your wall.
Yep.
Your money is in your closet.
Ooh.
Your money is on flat screen TVs on your wall. Your money is in your closet. Watch this. Your money is under the Christmas tree every single
Oh.
December.
Ooh.
Somehow, some way, the children always have presents, no matter what the financial situation is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you've proven to yourself every December that you
Mhm.
can make a way when you need to.
Ooh.
But you got to figure out how to make a way in April,
Yeah.
so you can put yourself in a financial position where you can grow money. And that's
Yes.
a great question, Latricia. What is cryptocurrency? I love that question. And this is the financial literacy piece that you need.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you for asking the question. Cryptocurrency is digital money. Think about it. Everything's moving digital. We went from analog television to digital television. We
Yep.
went from having to subscribe to stars through cable to subscribing to stars through our cell phone,
Yeah.
digital,
Yep.
right? We went from getting cabs by calling a cab company to now we order a cab through Uber and Lyft through an app. We went through hotels, right? We went from that to Airbnbs,
Mm-hmm.
right? We went from having to run our own errands to getting somebody else to run our errands through Postmates.
Yes.
We went from having to grocery shop on our own to now we can get somebody to grocery shop for us.
Mm-hmm.
So watch this. Money is going digital too.
Yep.
Money is going digital too. We went from cash and now we're moving cashless.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, Christians, I know what y'all thinking. I'm a Christian too.
Yes.
So I understand the prophecy. I understand all those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing that you got to understand. You can't be in a position of fear.
Yes.
You can't get in a position of fear because I understand how Christians think.
Yeah.
I understand that. I understand the prophecy. I get it, right? But here's the thing. You could put yourself in an elevated place financially and be in a position to serve at a high level.
Oh,
you're supposed to be wealthy.
Yes.
Right? We can believe for healing. We can believe for that. We can believe for so many different areas.
Yes.
But then when it comes to finances,
it's
hard
believe.
to apply the same faith. That's a whole different conversation. But anyway, let me stay on top.
What is God says the fruit of the land is ours.
It's ours. It was prophesied. Come on, David was wealthy.
Ooh.
David was wealthy. Read your Bible. Joseph was wealthy.
Yes. Why do we think we're not worthy of that?
Come on. Come on. Watch this. Watch this. Read your Bible now. Jesus was wealthy.
Come on. Come on. Say it.
I've never seen a poor person with a treasurer.
Come on.
Read your Bible now. Read your Bible.
Yes.
But anyway, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Cryptocurrency. Okay, so digital money, right? Watch this. So people have a hard time understanding digital money. I'm gonna make it very simple to understand. What if I told you, right? Because, all right, let me back up. Cryptocurrency is digital money with a technology component attached to it. What do I mean by that? What if I told you that your grandparents had the ability to not only own a television, but invest into the technology of television? Think about how many people today have flat screens all over their house, 2, 3, 4 flat screens, right? Think of how many households have flat screen TVs. If your grandparents had the ability to invest in the technology of a television, you would be second generation wealthy right now.
Ooh.
So watch this. I said cryptocurrency is digital money, right? What if you had the ability to invest into the technology of digital money? That's what we are doing when you own cryptocurrency. Because as more people begin to use cryptocurrency, because you're already invested, you're actually making money from other people getting involved in cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
But and what scares people is the fluctuation of the value of cryptocurrency, not understanding that it operates in cycles. It operates just like a stock in a way, where the value of a stock can go up and the value of a stock can go down. But if you understand the cycle of the stock market, you can make money. That's how investors in the stock market makes money.
Yes.
Well, you can get educated on the cycle of how cryptocurrency works, which is what I do, right? And watch this. You don't just make money when cryptocurrency goes up.
Right.
What I'm going to teach you, you're going to make money when cryptocurrency goes down too.
Yep.
So all those people who pump fear into the market and say, oh, cryptocurrency doesn't work, I lost money from cryptocurrency, they didn't educate themselves.
That's it.
So you can make, you watch that. You don't have to, thank you, Holy Spirit. You don't have to fear what you don't understand. All you got to do is educate yourself.
Oh, wait, that's it.
All you have to do is put yourself in position to learn.
Yeah.
So that fear is only because you don't understand. But once you understand, you're no longer scared.
Yeah.
You're actually excited. So you can actually make money while the value of cryptocurrency goes up, and you can make money as the value of cryptocurrency goes down. And you can make money from cryptocurrency several different ways. And within our platform, we actually teach people how to do that. And by the way, I'm not the crypto expert. I listen to the crypto experts. Therefore, I'm educated and I actually understand how the money is made.
Yeah.
Right. And watch this. You don't have to learn everything in one day. All you got to do is put yourself in position. And again, you don't have to be the expert to make the money. All you have to do is be attached to the expert.
Yes.
So to give you guys a summary, cryptocurrency is digital money that has a technology component to it. And as more people operate within the cryptocurrency space, you can make money. But it doesn't matter if the value of cryptocurrency goes down, because I'm going to show you how to make money when it goes down too.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the simplest way I can explain it. But cryptocurrency is not a one-trick pony. There's several different ways to make money from cryptocurrency. You hear these terms like NFTs. You hear terms like staking. You hear all kinds of terms when it comes to cryptocurrency. Like I said, there's several different ways to make money from cryptocurrency. Do you know you can actually make money from letting people borrow your cryptocurrency? Or you can park it and make 8 to 12% per year from your cryptocurrency. Did you know that you actually can take cash loans off your cryptocurrency portfolio?
Come on. Ooh.
So you can build a cryptocurrency portfolio and flip it into cash, and take that cash and go do what? Go do real estate. Take that cash and do what? Go get a Toro. Take that cash and do what? Go get an Airbnb.
Yes.
There's so many different ways to make money from cryptocurrency, but all you got to do is put yourself in position to learn. Right?
And
but
how much a day? How much a day is in there in the cryptocurrency? How much
in the cryptocurrency space? The market cap of cryptocurrency is over 2 trillion right now.
2 trillion.
2 trillion.
2 trillion.
But also, the other industry that I teach people about, it moves $6.6 trillion a day.
That's it. That's what I'm talking about.
A day.
A day.
And that's where we start people at. It's called the foreign exchange market. It is the trading of currency, right? And like I said before, you don't have to fear what you don't understand. It's this equivalent of learning how to drive a car. You're not going to drive the car by yourself when you first start. Yeah. Right? That's the value of mentorship. My wife and I and our partner developed a system. I've coached people in Africa on how to make money from their phone. I've coached people in Europe. I've coached an individual in Afghanistan on how to make money from a phone. I taught this lady in China how to make money from her phone. Location doesn't matter. Why? Because we're connected digitally. And I can pass the information to you and put you in position to apply the information. But here's where people get scared. Oh, this stuff sounds hard. This stuff sounds complicated. Well, I'm gonna just completely destroy that line of thinking. The youngest person that I've ever helped learn how to make money from a phone was 4 years old. Chew on that. 4 years old. I had a student of mine that I taught how to trade. She got so excited on how simple it was. She sat her 4-year-old down every day for a year straight for 15 minutes and taught her son what I taught her. And that little boy at 4 years old, right, started trading on his own and making his own money. What did she do? Right? What did she do? Right. Latricia, I'm telling you, that is it right there. People don't do it because they say it sounds complicated.
Right. That's true. They run.
That's the only reason. But I'm telling you, this 4-year-old little boy.
My God.
Or do you think you're smarter than a 4-year-old?
Come on.
Watch this. This is what she did. She took adult principles and put it on a child level. She sat him down and they went on Walmart.com. She said, "What do you want?" And they started picking out toys. And they built a list of toys that he wanted. And she told him, "Listen, if you want these toys, you got to trade to get them." You got to trade to get them.
You can do it.
Right. So then she started teaching him the simple principles that I teach.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's simple. I promise you it's simple.
It is. It is. Yes.
And this little boy at 4 years old started taking his own trades, making his own money, and buying his own toys.
My God.
Literally, she taught him how to do it and then sat there and watched him do it. Didn't tell him nothing. He just started taking the trades and making his own money. And when he had enough money to make that withdrawal, on an adult level, what do? We're going to go pay a bill. Right. On an adult level, what are we going to do? We're going to go buy a car. On an adult level, what are we going to do? We're going to go get some assets. Yes. On his level, all he wanted was some toys. So he made the money and hit his goal. He started buying his own toys.
Yes.
Do you think you're smarter than a 4-year-old is the question. See, that's what happened to me. When in 2017, with me and my wife, we went to a webinar. And we saw this 7-year-old little boy talking about how much money he was making trading. 7 years old. And that's the thought I had. I said, I know I'm smarter than the 7-year-old. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I know I'm smarter than the 7-year-old.
Right? Yes.
That was the motivation. Literally, that was the only. I was unimpressed by the 1,000 people was on there talking about how much student loans they paid off. Yeah. All the adults. I wasn't impressed. I was literally going to say no until I saw that 7-year-old. I said, I know I'm smarter than the 7-year-old.
My God.
That's the only reason I made the decision. But watch this. I'm telling you, if you have faith that you're smarter than a 4-year-old, I can put you in position to make money.
Come on. And let me just say this, because it's not even just him teaching you. When I say the support, the motivation calls, monthly book calls, like it's not trips to, what we do Dubai in October.
We do Dubai in October.
Arizona, September, Atlanta next month, June. And you're in the room with millionaires and billionaires. The thing is, when I first got in, it was just a no-brainer. It was like, and it wasn't even about the money for me also at that moment. But it's about building generational wealth for sure. But just what I was learning, just the mindset shift, just that was being poured into me. I was like, oh man, Starbucks cancel stars, cancel show. I canceled every subscription I had. It's a no-brainer because this is going to put me in position for my kids, my grandkids. And then I've heard people say, "It's you gambling." I every day though. Here's the thing. Every day I get up and go to that job. When I was working at the healthcare, every day that was a gamble. I didn't know if I was going to have that job at any given moment. So you gamble with your life every day.
And this is the thing. I'm glad you said that, Tracy.
Okay.
I want everybody listening to this right now to understand this is not gambling.
Exactly.
This is a skill. Yes. As skillful as a doctor is with a scalpel.
Yes.
As skillful as a mechanic is under a hood.
Yes.
This is a skill. You can become skillful with investing. This is not gambling. In fact, this is the furthest thing away from gambling.
Yes, exactly.
This is different. It's a skill, right? But like I said, all you have to do is to possess the willingness to learn. Mm-hmm. Like a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Like a child. If you have the willingness to learn, I promise you, this stuff is simple. In fact, I'll go as far as to say, I guarantee you that you've taken classes in high school that's harder than learning how to trade.
Yep.
I guarantee you.
Absolutely.
Because I had a perception. Everybody listening to this right now, what did Wall Street do to us? They convinced us that investing is difficult. If you turn on any money show on television, they're going to be talking over your head.
Yeah.
I promise you, it's not as hard as they make it seem.
Exactly.
They want us to be fearful of this in this industry.
Yes.
They want us to be, because listen, the top 1% income earners in the world are investors. So if you want financial elevation, you must become an investor. This can't be something you run away from. Exactly. You got to lean into it.
Yes.
And that's what I began to understand.
What you always say, you can't become a millionaire working a 9 to 5. You
cannot elevate financially only with the job. That's not the way. Right? So just to give you guys a deeper understanding and encourage you, I want to encourage you, right? I'll just share with you some testimonies. Mm-hmm. There's a lady in South Africa that I coached, right? And she had some trading experience, but she was losing for 2 years. She was losing. She met me. I said, listen, if you listen to me and you allow me to teach you, I'm going to get you right. She came under my mentorship. In 8 days, this woman made $17,000. Yep. There's a doctor from South Africa that I coached. He had no trading experience. He went through the training that we have. He went through my training for my personal strategy that I teach. It's called the Skittle strategy. He went through my training, right? In 3 weeks, $63,000. In 3 weeks. The craziest testimony I've ever produced. Gentleman from Kenya, Africa.
Oh, yeah.
Gentleman from Kenya, Africa, right? He was in poor conditions. He had to lie to his family to get the money to borrow so he could pay for the training. He only had $20 to put in his trade account. Do you have $20 right now? He had $20 to put in his trade account. With the information that I taught him, this man took a $20 trade account to $30,000 in 30 days. Yep. That's the craziest testimony I've ever produced. Yep. This other young lady just recently, she was able to produce enough money to pay off all her student loans. Mm-hmm. Another gentleman, his dream was to learn how to fly planes. His dream was to become a pilot. From what I taught him, he made the money that he needed to pay for the training from trading. Yep. And it's about $10,000 to $12,000 to pay for that training. Usually, when you want to be a pilot, what do people do? They go get loans to go to pilot school. Mm-hmm. He's paying for it cash with the information that I gave him. Yep. I want y'all to understand that the information that I teach, on average, can produce anywhere from $50 to $300 a day. Mm. Average. Let's not even talk about the thousands of dollars. Right. $50 to $300 a day. And I want you to, let's really just do the math. Let's break it down. Yes. What if I could teach you something that could produce you $50 a day, 4 days a week? Let's just do the math. Right. That's $200 a week. Yeah. That's $800 a month from pushing a button on your phone. Ooh. That's a part-time job. Yes. From $50 a day, 4 days a week. See, when I break the numbers down like that, it's not hard to believe that you can do that. Just $50 outside of a job. Mm. Just $50. And watch this. Now, here's where the faith comes in. If I could teach you how to do $50 a day, I could teach you how to do $100 a day. I could teach you how to do $200 a day. What happens when you get to $300 a day? What happens when you get to $1,000 a day? What happens when you get to $10,000 a week? What happens when you get to $100,000 a month? Oh. Remember, I said this is a $6.6 trillion a day market. Yep. Woo. See, God. You gotta open your mind to the possibilities, and then you have to lean into education. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking. Watch this. Listen to me. I'm not talking about a 4-year degree. Right. I'm not talking about a 2-year associate's. I'm not even talking about an 8-month program. You're going to learn what you need to learn to build your confidence in 7 to 10 days after you start. Come on. And this is an earn while you learn platform. You don't have to wait until you're an expert to begin making money from the information. Right. Yep. My God. And you can do it from a phone. You can do it while you're sleeping. You can push a button to make money while you're sleeping. Now watch this. What I'm describing to you, I'm going to show you how to monetize time. As time moves forward, your money can be growing.
Yeah. Yes.
And remember what I said. The beginning of financial literacy is increasing your income. And then that will lead to making different investments, putting your money into assets, creating multiple streams of income.
Yes.
And then also working on your credit at the same time, raising your credit worthiness. Now watch this. This is where it gets interesting. Because once I get you to a place where you're confident and you know how to grow money, then you can start taking others people's money and putting it in position to grow. Instead of growing your own money.
Ooh.
You can take Visa's money and grow it.
Yes.
You can take MasterCard's money and grow it. You can take Discover's money and grow it. You can take American Express's money and grow it. It's all about the confidence in the skill set that you possess.
Yeah.
And then another part of financial literacy, watch this. Any table I sit at, I'm confident that I have information that could change somebody else's life. I've made myself valuable.
Yes.
So any table I sit at with anybody, I don't care. They can have letters running off the end of their business card. Doesn't matter.
Come on.
I'm a college dropout with the skill to grow money.
Come on.
I can take anybody, and help them get in a position where they're elevated financially. How valuable is that?
My God.
What I can literally change anybody's life I choose at this point.
Yes. Yes.
As long as they're willing to listen, as long as they have a spirit of inquisitiveness, as long as they are coachable and teachable, I can transfer my skill to somebody else. I don't care who they are. I don't care how successful they are. The more successful they are, the faster I can help them elevate.
Yes.
And watch this. If I can help somebody from Kenya, Africa make money from a
Come
I
on.
can help somebody listening to me right now.
Yes.
And that's what you want to put yourself in position where you are the asset. You are a walking asset.
Yes, that's it. That's it. My God. My God.
So watch this. You can become a living, breathing, valuable asset. You are the asset.
Yes. Yes.
And that's what kingdom mindedness is all about.
Yes.
You are the apple of God's eye.
Ooh, come on.
You are the asset. You are the most valuable creation.
My God. Come on.
And he gave us the ability to imagine, plan, and execute.
Yes.
Write the vision. Make it plain. You know why people don't think about $10,000 a month residually or $10,000 a month outside of a job? Simply because the job don't pay it.
Ooh.
You can have it. Who says you can't? Who's going to stop you?
Wow.
Who's going to stop you? So I'm telling you, you can put yourself in position to elevate. All you got to do is want to do it.
Yeah.
All you got to do is want to do it. Now, let me. I told y'all at the beginning I was going to paint a picture where what you can do with this type of information. And I kind of did it earlier, but I want to give you this deeper understanding, and then we're going to get up out of here, right? Watch this. I want you to envision you get this skill. You get to a place where you can grow money without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
You can grow $100 to $1,000 in a few hours. You can grow $500 to 5 figures in 7 to 14 days. You can get to a place where you master the skill, right? Watch what you can do. Now, this is how you're going to begin playing real life Monopoly, right? You grow money. From that money that you grow, you make a withdrawal. Let's say you withdraw $4,000.
Yeah.
You go buy a used car. You go take that used car to a mechanic, make sure it's running good, right? And then you put it on an app like Toro. Now that car is producing you income.
Yeah.
You take that car and the money you make from that car, and then you go use that money to get a second car. You take those 2 cars and use the money that those 2 cars are producing, go buy 2 more. Now you got 4 cars.
Yep.
You take those 4 cars and the money that you're making from those 4 cars, and you go buy Airbnb.
Ooh.
You take the money from that Airbnb and you go get a second Airbnb.
Yeah.
You take those 2 Airbnbs and you go get 2 more. Now you got 4 Airbnbs and 4 cars, all with streams of income outside of your job. Watch this. You might still be going to work, so you got your work income. You're trading and making money. Then you took this information and turned it into a business, which I'm going to show you how to do. And now you're producing residual income on that. And then you got these streams of incomes that are growing. You take those 4 Airbnbs, those 4 cars, all that money, and then you go buy a property. And then you rent that property out. Then you're making money from rental property.
Yeah.
You take that rental property money and you go get a second one. You take those 2, you go get a duplex. Now you got real estate.
Ooh.
You refinance those houses, get tax-free money, chunks of tax-free money.
Right. Wow.
You see what you can do while fixing your credit, while increasing your credit worthiness. Then Visa starts giving you money. Oh, please take our money. MasterCard starts giving, oh, please take our. We don't increase you every 3 to 4 months. We'll increase your credit worthiness every 3 to 4 months. And because you understand how to grow money, you can grow all of that money.
Yes.
Here's the question I have for you. How fast can you put yourself in position to produce 5 figures, or to produce 6 figures, or produce 7 figures, or produce 8 figures? What would you do? What goals would you set? Right? If money wasn't an issue, what type of goals would you focus on? What would you want? If money wasn't an issue, what type of car would you be driving? What type of ministries would you start? What type of service would you give? How, what type of life would you create? Where would you want to live? Why get one condo? Why not have a condo in multiple places?
Come on.
Right? Why only reserve yourself to one area? You might just love Colorado, but when it gets cold, you can have a condo in Miami. Why not? Why not?
Why not?
See,
Why not?
I need you to start dreaming. I need you. The reason why you don't dream is because you don't have the conception of how to make it happen. You don't have a plan.
Yeah.
If you had the plan, you would dream more. Now I'm giving you the plan. I'm giving you the blueprint. Now you can start dreaming more because anything becomes possible.
Anything, yes. Trish said, what is Turo? So it's like your own personal car rental place. Like you purchase the cars, you rent them out. It's your own
digital
car
money.
rental. Yes, digital money.
So it's right. Like Turo is an app that gives you the ability to rent someone else's car. It's Airbnbs for cars.
Yep.
So you can rent somebody else's car instead of renting from Hertz or renting from Alamo, right? You can rent from a person.
Because they barely have cars now anyway.
Exactly. So watch this. You can become the rental car place.
Hello, come on.
So you go buy a used car, cash, because you know how to grow money.
Right.
And then you fix that car up and you put it on Turo, and now people are renting your car and you're making money from that car.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
There's so many different ways to elevate. These are just a few. But like I said, the foundational piece of this is understanding how to grow your own money, which is what we put you in position to learn how to do.
Exactly.
That's what I'm teaching Tracy.
Yep, sure is.
So then you can start investing in cryptocurrency, which we have that information too. We can put you in the strategy that I teach. Let me just the strategy that I teach y'all is transferable. I'm gonna teach you how to invest in the foreign exchange market, but at the same time, when I teach you this strategy, you'll know how to invest in crypto. You'll know how to invest in metals like silver, gold, and platinum. You'll understand how to invest in indices like US 30, GER 30, NAS 100. If you don't know what those are, we'll educate you about them.
Right.
Watch this. With this information, I'm going to put you in position to learn how to invest in the stock market. This is a one-stop shop. You learn it, and then you can take it and put it everywhere.
Yes. Yes. One-stop shop. Yes.
And like I said, I didn't say 10,000 to learn. I didn't say 20. I said $200. $200 to $300. Which everybody on here has. And this is what you got to do. I've been in this position. So anybody right now listening, if you don't have $200 to $300, what I need you to do is open up your mind.
Yeah.
Like I said, your money is on your wall. Take the flat screen off the wall and go pawn it. Right? Your money is in your child's room. Take that game system, that PS5, that Xbox, go sell that. Turn it into
how
money.
bad do you want it?
Turn it into money and take advantage of opportunity. Value opportunity more than material things. You got shoes in the closet. You got clothes in the closet. What is the last big purchase you made?
Yeah.
Take it back.
Yeah.
Transition that into cash and take advantage of opportunity so you can put yourself in position to grow money and then be able to buy those things that you sold back. I've done this. This is how I began. I pawned clothes. I pawned televisions.
Yep.
I've done it all. I started valuing opportunity more than material. So I don't have the money is not an excuse.
Right.
You have the money, you can just transition your material into money. Oh, I got to wait till I get paid. No, you don't.
Right.
No, you don't. Don't rely on the job income to elevate.
Ooh.
You got to create the opportunity for yourself.
Yeah.
You don't wait until the paycheck, because watch this. When the paycheck comes, it's already pre-spent.
Right.
Because that's how you've been living. So you have to think outside the box. You can't rely on the paycheck that's been sustaining you to then rely on that to begin elevating. It's not what's going to happen is when the paycheck comes, something's going to get in the way.
Yes.
It always happens. So what you got to do is think outside the box. Start putting yourself in position where this becomes an emergency. Financial elevation becomes an emergency. Instead of waiting, right, and for perfect conditions, which is not going to come. Let me educate y'all about money.
Hello.
Problems don't go away when you start making money, y'all.
No.
They don't. You're either in a storm, coming out of a storm, or going into a storm. That is the cycle of life. When you start making money, right, it just gives you resources.
Right.
To handle the storm.
Yes.
That's all it does. So you can't wait for perfect conditions. It's not coming.
That's not.
It's not. You can't wait. In this world, you shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome it all. And that's the position you operate from.
Yes.
When the storm comes, I'm calm.
Yeah.
My faith is in God.
Yes.
My faith is in God. But my activity is in the intellect He gave me.
There you go.
And in the leadership of the Holy Spirit. Come on. Oh, come on. I feel Him. In the leadership of the Holy Spirit. I'm calm, but then He starts giving me resources. Okay, this is what you do. Right? But here's the thing. When you have the information, oh my God. When you have the information, you become the walking resource. Right? I have a YouTube page. That YouTube page has over 1 million YouTube views and 30,000 subscribers. My information is a solution. Because of what I know, I'm valuable to other people. You are the asset. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I can, out of thin air, I can create a program where I teach people how to grow YouTube pages because I've done it.
Because you've done it.
So I am the resource.
My God. What do you think people are afraid of?
They're scared to lose.
Oh, yeah.
Not understanding that, see, it's just a change in perception. Don't be scared to lose. A loss is only a loss if you quit. Ooh. That's you think I didn't lose money in business? Me and my wife lost our credit business. We lost $20,000.
Yes. Yeah.
But we made way more.
Right.
Because we've invested in bad information before. We've done that before. We've taken losses. Yeah. But I wasn't scared to lose. I was willing to win. Yeah. You will miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah. How many times did John Maxwell say he lost? He failed? He said he failed so many times he should have wrote a book on it.
Exactly. Listen, y'all, I want y'all to understand. I'm not scared to lose. That's
Right.
why I win.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Do you understand? See,
Yeah.
Jim Rohn said, you'll live a quiet, comfortable, safe life that you regret when you get old.
Ooh.
Because you didn't live.
Mm.
You stayed inside the confines of the box that was created for you.
Wow.
But the value of life is like you can't live without risk.
You can't.
You can't experience traveling the world if you don't take risks.
Right.
And I'm not talking about thousands of dollars of risk.
Right.
$200 to $300 of risk.
Yep.
You spend that on a weekend of fun. You spend that going on dates. You spend that going on a weekend of fun with your friends, going to the movie. You spend $200 to $300 all the time.
Yes.
You spend more than that during Christmas time. When somebody's having a baby, you spend more than that going to the baby shower.
Right. Right.
It's all perception. It's only because this is attached to elevation.
Yeah.
And people are fearful of what they don't understand. But the only reason you don't understand is because you didn't put yourself in an environment where you can learn in a safe place with experts.
My God.
What you're afraid of, you're afraid to lose. But you got to change your perception on losing. You only lose if you quit.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the only time you lose. And watch this. Before you ever put a real dollar at risk, you're going to practice what I teach you.
There you go. Yep, sure do.
So you don't have there's zero risk until you know what you're doing.
Right.
And once you know what you're doing, you're not afraid.
And let me just say, the time that you even take away from your family, your wife and your kids, that you don't have to do, that you do out of the kindness of your own heart because you want to see people win. That's this. I mean, just how you take time with us on Sundays, on Tuesdays. I mean, even to just at the spur of the moment, jump on if somebody have questions, and it's just like, you don't have to do that. You don't get anything from that. You know what I mean? But the kindness of your heart. And it's like, I think some people probably have gotten connected with bad people, which is another reason they fear. And that's why another reason I'm like, and we'll do this live again because I really want people to get it and to understand that you can truly elevate and you can truly have financial freedom. It's yours. You know what I mean? And just, I mean, my God,
you know what?
I implore you to hop on it. I implore you.
And you know what? I hear that a lot and I appreciate it, Tracy. But I feel like I'm doing this. My wife and my children are my reason.
Okay.
I have a responsibility to put my children. We got to stop. How many generations are we going to get it out the mud, y'all?
Ooh,
how long are we going to say I got it out the mud?
I got it out.
I don't want my children to get it out the mud. I want my children to get it from the ceiling.
Ooh.
I'm gonna make this ceiling so high that when I take my last breath, it's going to take about 2-3 generations to spend what I made.
Ooh, come on.
That's where I'm going. That's what I'm on. I am on generational wealth.
Yes.
That's what I'm on creating. I'm on giving my children the information I didn't have instead of giving them the experience, instead of giving them the toys I didn't have. I'm on, instead of getting the toys and putting it under the tree on Christmas time, we're giving deeds.
Come on. My God.
We're giving apartment buildings during
my
Christmas time.
Come on.
That's what I'm on.
Yes.
It's a different mentality. It's a different mentality. So I understand the law of sowing and reaping. I understand it very well.
Yeah.
It's far better to give than it is to receive.
Yes.
Don't you want to know what it feels like to be driving down the street and it's raining and you see a woman and her 3 children sitting on the bus stop and you can pull over and tell them, hey, get in the car. We're going to the dealership and buy your car right now.
Ooh, come on. That part. I cannot wait to do that.
And the enemy knows.
My God.
That's why he fights so hard. He's fighting you to prevent you from getting to a place where you can make an impact.
Yes.
Where you
Yes.
can minister. You can pray for somebody, and then you can lift your head and say, okay, what's the need? I'm going to take care of it right now.
Oh, come on.
Aren't you tired of just praying and then it stops from there?
My God.
Well, don't you want to be God's instrument in the earth?
Yes.
See, I'm motivated by that.
Yeah.
I want to be the financer of the kingdom. That's why my wife and I's name, Mr. Kingdom Cash, Lady Kingdom Cash. I want to be a financer of the kingdom.
Yes.
A financial tool for God to use.
My God. And that's what I love about everybody in the family. Everybody is doing everything with God in the center. With God in the center. Like, you know, as Jesus. My God.
It's bigger than money, y'all.
Yes, it is. It is
bigger than money. And it's gonna outlast your existence on this earth. But like I said, it's a mentality. Yeah. Money is a mentality. It's not a dollar amount in the bank account. It's a mentality. Mm-hmm. And when you start to understand the thinking that produces money, it'll be like a faucet turning on water. It will be like water is in abundance, isn't it? Yeah. It's just there.
Yes.
See, money is supposed to just be there. It's not supposed to be something you think about.
My God.
It's just supposed to keep coming.
My God.
And David lived like that.
Yeah.
Come on. Joseph lived like that.
Yes, he did. Yes. My God.
We have examples. Read your Bible. It's in there.
Right in the Bible.
We have examples. This is the life of abundance that we're supposed to live. But what you got to do is open yourself up to it.
Yeah. Because sometimes we don't think we deserve it, or we don't think we're worthy of it. We don't think that, well, it's not for me. Or it's just, it's and we got to change that, Jesus, we got to change that.
I have not given you a spirit of fear.
That part.
But I haven't. He didn't author it. So if fear is preventing you from doing this, you know where it's coming from.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. Come on. He had the abundance for the enemy to try to take.
Oh,
they missed that part. He had the abundance.
Yes, he did.
And because he stayed faithful, God restored him.
He restored him.
It's all over the place. But anyway, y'all, listen, if this made an impact, if you're liking what we're talking about, we don't ask you to make this decision blindly. We will prove everything we said on this call, on this Zoom, on this live.
Yeah.
All you got to do is contact Tracy and she will give you the information. This is not something that we sell or convince people to do. We're going to educate you. Yeah. We're going to show you that it's working for people all over the world. We're going to show you how the system that we have created, right? And how we get people trained in 7 to 10 days. I only need an hour a day from you and a commitment to get through the training.
Yep.
I do live trainings.
Yes.
I get on I give you resources to ask questions. Yes, this is not something you got to do on your own.
Right.
Right. So all you got to do is reach out to Tracy, ask her for the information. We will provide it. We'll answer the questions for you. We'll hop on Zoom. We'll make sure you understand what you're getting a part of. Yes. And if you make the decision to do it, we'll serve you.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yes.
This is how I've been able to train people from Africa, all over the United States, Canada, South America, everywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So all you got to do is want to do it.
Yep, that's it. Open up your mind.
You contact Tracy, we get you educated, we'll show you how the system works.
Yes.
You make the decision to do it, it's a $200 to $300 decision.
Yes, it is. And that's it.
And that's it. We get you started. We put you in our private community here on Facebook. We put you in our chats. We get you the training. Yeah. Your responsibility is to go through the training. I don't need you to understand everything right from the very beginning. Right. All I need you to do is be able to ask a question. If you can ask a question, my gift is explaining.
Yes.
And I'm going to transfer my skill set to you. And then I'm going to help you get the confidence to go ahead and push buttons from your phone and make money.
Right. Right. Absolutely. He will. He will.
Right.
The support is unmatched. I thank you so much for taking time out of your day, your evening to do this. I'm, looking forward to doing this again. I think that's very great, impactful information. And again, like he said, hit my inbox and man, let's get you to financial freedom. I'm telling you, it's attainable. Please don't think that it's not. It is for you and your babies and your grandbabies and generations to come. It's attainable. We have to break that poverty spirit and mindset up off of us.
Absolutely.
And it followed my family for generation to generational, and I am going to be the curse breaker. Period.
That's it.
So that's it.
That's it.
So, thank you guys for tuning in. And even for those of you who will catch the replay, thank you so much. Again, hit the inbox and I will definitely connect you with Mr. Kingdom Cash. It is a place that you definitely want to be. So have a great evening, you guys. And thank you.
Latricia, it's going to be my pleasure to work with you. Just get with Tracy as soon as this ends. Contact her. We'll get you educated. We'll put you in position. And listen, we're going to help you win. Anybody else?
Putting 3 things in my house that I'm selling to get my hello. Come on.
That's it. That's the energy right there.
Come on. I'm telling you, it's that serious. It's
that serious.
Man. But get with me and I will talk to you soon. And thanks again, you guys, for tuning in.
Peace and love. Thank you, Tracy. Peace and love.
Thank you.